Fuel efficiency and distance traveled. Here is a good question with application of linear equations. The question is, a car averages 12 liters per 100 kilometers in city driving and 8 liters per 100 kilometers on the highway. In a week of mixed driving, the car used 48 liters of fuel and traveled 500 kilometers. Determine the distance traveled in highway driving. Now, to solve such questions is a good way to make a table of values and then work out the equations. So let me show you how to do these kinds of questions. Right? So I'll just create a table. So in this table we'll see we are given two particular conditions, and one is driving in the city and driving on highway, right? So that is the two conditions, that is city and highway. Now the fuel consumption is given to us as 12 liters per 100 kilometers in the city. So let's write down fuel consumption, which is in liters per kilometers. So they have given in liters per 100 kilometers. It's a good idea to change it to liters per kilometer. That means I'm going to divide 12 by 100. So we get 0.12 for city, and 8 divided by 100 will give us 0.08, right? So that is the fuel consumption. What we need to find is determine the distance traveled in highway driving. So that means we need to find distance traveled in highway and in the city, right? So let me make this column for distance. And distance will be in kilometers for us, and let the distance in the city be x and distance in highway be y. They are unknown. But what is known here is total distance of 500, right? So when we add them up, now when we add them up, we get a total distance of 500 kilometers. So that is known to us, right? And it is also known that for covering this 500 kilometers in a week of mixed driving, car used 48 liters of fuel. So the consumption of fuel is also known to us. So let that be the next column, right? So the next column is consumption of fuel. I hope it makes sense, right? So consumption of fuel will be in liters, right? So as you can see, the units are liters per kilometer, distance is in kilometers. To get liters, we should multiply these two, right? That makes sense, right? So the consumption should be in the city, when you travel x kilometers, it should be 0.12x, and on the highway it will be 0.08 y. And total consumption given to us is 48 liters, right? So that is how you can make a table and put all the information which is there in the word problem. Now let us try to solve. Now the question is how to make equations. Well, the equations are actually already given to you. You can see them on the table. X plus y is 500, correct? And 0.12x plus 0.08y is 48 liters. So that is how you can get your equations. So let me write these equations for you. So it is x plus y equals to 500, and the second one is 0.12x plus 0.08y is equals to 48, right? So these are the two equations. There are two variables, x and y, two equations. We can always find them. So we could use substitution method here, right? So to use substitution, what we can do is from the very first equation, let's read the question once. It says determine the distance traveled in highway, right? So highway distance is y for us. We want to find what y is. So in this equation, what we will do is we'll write down what x is in terms of y. Okay, so that is, well, x is equals to 500 minus y. correct? So from the first equation we get x equals to 500 minus y, which we are going to substitute in the second equation, right? I'm saying first and second. Let me number them, right? So this is equation number 1 for us, and this is equation number 2, and now let's sub 1 in 2, right? So that is what we are going to do now. So when I substitute 500 minus y for x, what do I get? I get 0.12 times 500 minus y plus 0.08y equals to 48. Now we have just one variable, y, which represents distance traveled in highway. So once we find it, we have solved the question, right? So you can take your calculator, do the multiplication, or you can do it even otherwise. 0.12 times 500 is equal to 60. So apply distributive properties, you get 60 minus 0.12y plus 0.08y equals to 48. Now 60, now when you do minus 0.12 plus 0.48, what do you get? You get minus 0.04y, right, equals to 48. Now you can take y on this side, 48 on the other side. You get 60 minus 48 equals to 0.04y, and from here, what is 60 minus 48? So it is 12, right? 12 equals to 0.04y, and now we know what y is. Y is equals to 12 divided by 0.04. So 12 divided by 0.04, that gives you 300. So that means y is equals to 300. So now we know that on highway it traveled 300, remaining 200 in the city, correct? So that is how you can get your solution. So you can write down your answer, and the answer is highway, it traveled 300 kilometers, right? So we'll write 300 kilometers. Always remember to write a complete sentence. I'm running out of space, so I'm not writing. So you should write distance traveled in highway is 300 kilometers. Don't forget the units, okay? I hope that's absolutely clear, right? This is not a very easy question, right? But I hope you have understood the concept. If not, go through it once again. Go through it slowly, read the question twice, see how we have done it, and then we have one more question very similar to this. Try it on yourself. Thank you and all the best.